Hey guys, and welcome to another Marvel Contest of Champions video. Okay, it is 90 days from now until Cyber Weekend. So that sounds like, quite a ways away, 3 months. Um, but for free to play players, it's a bit of a make or break decision time. So what I mean is, uh, are you going to be paying for these unit deals, or are you going to be trying to grind and save up for these unit deals? Because the later you leave it, it either makes it completely impossible for you to save up for the unit deals, um, or it makes your life ridiculously, uh, you know, not very nice because you're grinding for so long and so much time. It'll make your life, unbearable. It'll just make you hate this game. So what I'm saying is now is the time to ask yourself maybe which bundles, am I going to be trying to go for? Um, and I know you're not going to be able to make that decision just yet, because you haven't seen what's going to be offered. But if you have a look back at last year's, or in this case, the 4th of July deals for whatever your progression level is, then you can kind of have a bit of an idea of say, yeah, I'm going to try to go for that because I think that sort of deal would really help me progress my account. So what we're going to do out today is look at the Cavalier offers for this past 4th of July. Now, usually, almost every 4th of July Cyber Weekend, it just gets progressively better. A progressively better offer each about 6 month, main offer deal within the game. If you've been playing this game for a long time, like I have, you'll realize that it just progressively gets better and better and better. The game changes, the dynamics within the games change, and the value of the previous offers items drops. I mean, that's just the way it is. When I first started, it was 4-star awakening gems and that sort of thing. Whereas now, in Thronebreaker deals, it's the big money maker is tier six, uh, tier six basic and uh, the tier five alpha fragments. So that's the big money maker now. So guess what? T5CC is becoming much more available. Whereas in the last year or so, that's been just kabam. It's been so tight with T5CC. It's been just unbelievable, especially for Cavalier players. Like I just became Thronebreaker a couple months ago, but for me, all I was waiting on, I'd completed almost all the content in the game except for Abyss, and I'd had like half or three-quarters of almost every T5CC going because I'd been unlucky with my pulls, and I'd completed all the way up through Act 7.2, and I'd still not got Thronebreaker, only because I'd not paid um, to to try to get a lot of these T5 class catalysts. Now, the main thing with this is, guys, is just have a look, like I said, at each bundle, and think, this is how much going to need to save up in 3 months' time. So I'll go through each one, and I've run all the maths, so I can tell you if you've got absolutely 0 units at this point in time, how many units you need per day, to save up to get each bundle that you want. Can't make it easier than that. So we'll start off again. Like I said, this was the Cavalier ones that was from this last July, so it should be better than this. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not a lot better than this, guys, because like I said, T5 class catalysts have become a lot more prevalent in the game. Um, with the last Summer of Pain, where we were, they're just giving them out, you know, I think it was either 3 25% selectors, or I think that was the max that Cavalier players could get. I might be wrong on that, but it was at least 3 25% selectors that you could get. So, I mean, if they're giving away that freely, when it comes to, you spending your hard-earned cash for these unit deals, or you're grinding for them, whichever the case may be, it's going to be better than that. So I'm expecting they're going to be coming out with a new, um, a new title soon. I'm hoping it's not before Cyber Weekend, but we shall see. Anyway, guys, enough of that. We're going to go through these now. So for 1,000 units, the Advanced Summoner Bundle, you get 15,000 T5 basic Catalyst Fragments. So that's around a third. 5 T4 CC selectors. Those are really handy, guys. I mean, I know definitely myself. If you want a certain type, if you want 5 of a certain type, you might have to open up 40 or 50 sometimes, because the algorithm knows, what you need, and you'll end up with, you might, if you need 5 of one type, if you open 50 of the things, you're going to end up with 20 Mystic and 2 Mutant, if that's what you need. So these are really, really handy to be able to pick, which ones you're after. 15,000 5-star hero shards. It depends, guys. It depends. If you're a new Cavalier player, then that might be really handy to you. If you're a Cavalier player that's been playing the game for ages, and you've got, like myself, before I finally became Thronebreaker, I had pretty much every 5-star that I really wanted. I'm not trying to, brag here or anything, but I had almost every one that I wanted. There were other characters that were good champs that I didn't have, and I still don't have. But I don't really want them. I've got the champs that I want to take up. So 15,000 5-star shards is great. I can throw it into a featured crystal and try to get, whatever the new best champ is. It's 5-star. But other than that, that's pointless. It's worthless. 2 tier 2 alphas. Okay, that's decent. 5 tier 1 alphas. Again, that's good. I mean, those are a bit of a pain in the butt to get these days. So, yeah, that's okay. 5 tier 4 basics. Again, I mean, it's okay. I mean, everyone needs tier 1 alpha, tier 4 basics. 1 5-star hero crystal. Again, all these things, guys, are just okay. And that's about the gist of it with this. I mean, it's not really making me jump up and down and think, wow, this is an amazing deal. But again, it depends on if you're an initial Cavalier player, so it just went from uncollected to Cavalier, or if you're trying to go from Cavalier to Thronebreaker. Because if you're just trying to if you just became Cavalier and you're trying to expand your roster, then this is probably going to be a decent offer for you. But if you're trying to go from Cavalier to Thronebreaker, then this deal, to me, is a bit pointless. But you've got to get it to unlock the next one. So let's look at the next one, the Greater Summoner Bundle for 4,000 units. 1 tier 5 basic. That's good. 15 5-star signature stones. Again, if you're starting out, you've just become Cavalier, that's helpful. I mean, who doesn't want, even as, like myself, 75 5-star shards, or 5-star sig stones is really helpful, but not as helpful as if, you just become Cavalier. 5,000 6-star shards, that's really helpful. 1 5-star Nexus Hero Crystal, again, depending on starting or ending, whether that's helpful to you or not. 6 tier 2 alphas, that's good for anybody. 1 10% T5CC fragment crystal. That was crap, guys. I mean, trying to go from a Cavalier to a Thronebreaker, you could open, 10 of those, 20 of those, and you still might not get the, the class that you're after. It's just chance. There should be more certainty in these. You should be able to choose. And I'm guessing with the next roll around, I'm hoping it's going to be more than that. You would hope with this one it might even be a 20%, but hopefully at least, guys, it's a 10% selector for the 4,000 units. That's what I'm hoping anyways, because that's a bit of a pathetic deal. Anyway, guys, the next one, 10,000 units. So this is getting into the expensive stuff. So this is over 300 pounds or dollars worth of units here. So this should be some good stuff. 120% T5 fragment selector. Pretty good. I mean, that could have been a real make or break to send someone from Cavalier to Thronebreaker. 2 tier 5 basics. Good. 10 Tier 2 Alphas. 20,000 6-star Hero Crystal Shards. 30 plus 5 5-star 6 stones. Again, all these things here are great for any level player. But again, with this one, we've kind of dropped back down to the initial Cavalier player. One 10% T5 CC Fragment Crystal. Yeah. We've gone back to the chance again. Gone back to that chance. And that's just no good. One 5-star rank up gem, rank 4 to rank 5. Good, but, is it over 300 pounds or dollars or whatever? Good. Not really. No, not in my opinion. 1.5 million gold. And then last but not least, for another 100 pounds or dollars, wherever you're at, 6-star Awakening Gem Crystal. Is it worth it? That's up to you. If I had grinded that much, I probably would have went ahead and gone for it. I didn't in the end. But it depends on how much your time is worth, I suppose, whether you think that's worth it or not. But all in all, guys, I think this last Cavalier 4th of July, I think, was better than the previous Cyber Weekend. I think the last Cyber Weekend, Cavalier players, like myself at the time, got absolutely shafted when it came to the unit deals. That's when the Throne Breakers, that was the first offer period for Throne Breaker, and it seemed like Kabam really went all out and really pushed the boat out to try to appeal to the Throne Breaker players, and they really just crapped all over the Cavalier players trying to progress to that Throne Breaker. This one seemed to be a bit better, but again, it's still a little bit skewed towards the player that only just became Cavalier. But hopefully this next one will be the one that's trying to push more players, like the Summer of Pain event was, push more players into Thronebreaker, because I think they're trying to push more folks into Thronebreaker because they're going to pull that next little, carrot down and dangle that carrot in front of you to say, hey, guess what? Cavalier players, you're now Thronebreaker. Woohoo, great. But guess what? We're going to snatch that carrot right back off your ass, because that's not going to be the top one anymore. We're going to come up with some other, new title that we can start charging X amount of money for all the best stuff in the game. That's how it works, folks. But whether you love it or you hate it, that's just the name of the game. They're here to make money, and they're going to keep making money by keep dangling that carrot in front of us. But Rick, real quickly before we get going, I just want to run through quickly. I've done the math, like I said at the start, for how many units you need to grind if you want whichever offer. So if you think, I know I ain't grinding, I ain't doing any arena whatsoever. I might get the 1,000 unit deal. Okay, I mean, like I said before, if you're the person that's only just became a Cavalier, maybe you don't play the game very often. You maybe you don't even log in every day. This first 1,000 units is easily attainable. I mean, this works out to be 11 units a day. So for the next 90 days, you need 11 units per day to get your 1,000 units. You could do nothing in the game except log in, claim your login calendar, claim the bits in the summoner camp, or whatever it's called, the daily thing where you log in, do your 10 fights, collect your sunglasses. Later on in the year, the next 20, 30 days, whatever it is, 40 days, 50 days, whenever this thing expires, you'll have the units that you need to buy this without doing anything. No grinding whatsoever. Easy. Piece of cake. And you'll have at least what it says, here, which is great. But if you think, hey, I'm going to go a little bit further and I'm going to get that second bundle as well. So you need 5,000 units. That works out at 56 units a day. Believe me, that is not a lot of units per day. 56 is easy. It might sound like a lot, but it's not. All you need to do is a tiny bit of arena um, every day. I would have thought if you did, I don't know, a couple run throughs of your 4 stars, you know, claimed a couple milestones on the 4-star arena, the basic arena, um, every time it runs, twice a week. Then uh, claimed all your things, saved your units, so probably maybe 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes of arena, 5 days, 6 days a week. You could easily get that 56 units a day, and you're going to get quite a lot of decent stuff. Now, going on to the bigger ones. So an extra 10,000. So you're a bit more hardcore and you think, I want to try to get 1, the 4, and the 10. So you need 15,000 units. That works out 166 units per day. Again, that sounds like a lot, but it's attainable. It is attainable. And I'll just go ahead and throw quickly the last one on to make, let's say you want to go ahead and try to get that awakening gem, whatever it's going to be, for an extra 3,000 units. So 18,000 units in 90 days works out to 200 units exactly per day between now and the end of November. So let me tell you guys, I've grinded over 200 units per day. 220, 240. It's not easy, but it is doable. And that's not grinding every single arena. That's, taking advantage of making sure you're doing run throughs on all the easy content per month. These are like quick wins, guys, that you can just burn through, get those units. So every bit of the monthly content, run through it all. Make sure you're doing your alliance, your 3-day events. Make sure you're doing your solo events, like your level ups, all those sort of things. You got to make sure you're making all these easy, quick wins that add up. Plus, you've got to do the arena. You've got to do the arena. And I would say the arena, I forget what they call it now, where you're doing your 2 to 4-star characters. You need to run that up to, let's say, 1.5 million, probably 2 million every cycle, so twice per week. And I would say probably at least the 5-star basic arena, you probably need to run that up to 3 million, 4 million every cycle. Now, that's not a massive grind. Well, it's not a massive grind if you've got an established roster. But if you don't, it might be a bit, more time consuming. But for me, that's probably grinding, I would say, an hour a day, 6 days a week. So whether it's up to you guys, whether you want to do that much or not. But that's a big investment if you want 18,000 units in 90 days. Now, most of you got units already, but all you need to do is take how many you want. Let's say you want the 1, the 4, and the 10. So 15,000 units. You've already got 3. So take that away, 12,000 units. Divide that by 90 days, and I'll tell you how many units you need to make per day. So that's all I can say, guys, is decide what you want and get started. Because if you leave it later and later, that either means, like I said at the beginning, you're either going to have to do without, or it's going to mean selling your soul to the arena, and no one wants to do that. All right, thanks, guys. That's it for today. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and I will be back for more another time. Thanks for watching.